We started with Cahokia, Poverty Point, and Chaco Canyon. And each time it's the same story. Ancient North America was not empty. It wasn't simple, and it wasn't primitive. So now we go to Ohio. Not Egypt, not Rome, not Greece, Ohio. Sitting in the middle of Ohio is one of the most precise ancient earthworks landscapes in North America. The Newark Earthworks. That's the history. Here's the evidence. The Newark Earthworks were built around 2,000 years ago. They're part of what archaeologists call the Hopewell culture. Hopewell is not what these people call themselves. That name comes from archaeology. It came from a landowner named Mordecai Hopewell. His farm was connected to early excavations. The builders didn't leave a written record saying this was our name. No king's list, no stone tablets explaining their government. So when we say Hopewell, we're using an archaeological label, not the original self-name. The people were real, the earthworks were real, the culture was real, but their name is gone. And that should bother you, because what they built wasn't small. It wasn't random. It wasn't some pile of dirt thrown together by accident. The Newark earthworks were once part of a massive ceremonial landscape. Circles, squares, octagons, walls of earth, open plazas, long alignments, and geometry so precise it makes people stop and wonder how much we actually know about ancient North America. One of the most famous parts of the Great Circle, a huge circular enclosure nearly 1,200 feet across, almost 30 acres inside. That's not a little mound. That's a planned space big enough to swallow modern landmarks. Then there's the octagon earthworks. A giant octagon connected to a circle. Not a rough shape, not a guess, an actual geometric design built into the land. And here's where it gets heavier. Researchers have argued that octagon lines up with the moon. Not just any moonrise, a long cycle of moon. The 18.6-year lunar cycle. Think about that. If that was correct, then the builders weren't just moving dirt. They were watching the sky, tracking time, making cycles, building the heavens into the ground. And they did it without telescopes, without steel tools or modern surveying equipment. No written records that survived, just observation, memory, planning, and labor. And knowledge passed forward. That's the part that most people were never taught. They weren't just surviving in the woods. They were measuring, gathering, building great sacred spaces, connecting land to sky, doing it 2,000 years ago in what is now Ohio. Today, the Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Ohio's first. That means the world recognizes the place as something extraordinary. But ask the average person what they know about Newark Earthworks. Most have never heard of it. They knew the pyramids, Stonehenge, Rome, Greece, but they were never told about the ancient indigenous people of North America building enormous geometric earthworks aligned with the sky. And here's why that matters. Because the evidence was always here. It was in the dirt, the shape, the layouts, the alignment, the scale. It's the fact that people organized enough labor, knowledge, and purpose to reshape the land into a mass ceremonial complex. But we still don't fully know what every part meant. Was it a pilgrimage center, a ceremonial gathering place, a place for burial, ritual, exchange, astronomy, identity? Maybe more than that. We know indigenous people built it. We know archaeologists call this the Hopewell tradition. We know the Newark earthworks were part of a much larger ceremonial earthworks across Ohio. We know the builders had long-distance connections. Materials found in Hopewell sites came from far away. Copper from the Great Lakes, mica from the Appalachian region, obsidian from the Rocky Mountain region, shells from the Gulf Coast. That means these people were connected across huge distances. Not isolated, not ignorant, not primitive, connected, organized, skilled, and watching the world closer than what people give them credit for. But we don't know their original name. We don't know every ceremony they had. We don't know every meaning they built into these shapes. We don't have the written explanation. We don't need to slap a modern tribal name on it without proof. We just look at what's still there. A massive circle, a massive octagon, a landscape of geometry, a possible lunar observatory, a sacred earthworks complex built by indigenous people 2,000 years ago in Ohio. If you made it this far, give me a like and share and let me know what you think in the comments. Are you where yet?